Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. Mark Causey here from Black Cat Comics in Rockin' Milpitas. Every Wednesday is New Comic Day, and I like to give you some great reasons to get down to your local comic shop and pick up something fun to read. It's a great week of stuff. Some of the best books in comics are out this week, so you definitely want to get down to your shop today. Let's start with some DC guys. This fancy little shindig is Dark Knight's Metal number 2. Dark Knight's Metal number 1 was the biggest selling comic book so far this year. This is your big rebirth event. Look how shiny. Can't say enough about this one. We've got reprints of Metal number 1. We've got Casting and Forge still in stock. If you're a DC fan, if you're any kind of superhero fan, you're going to want to jump in on all this. I know people talk a lot about event fatigue, but this one started out really solid and looks to keep going just as strong. So can't say enough about that one. How about this guy? This is Action Comics number 987. We're just 13 issues away from Action Comics 1000. This is your lenticular edition. Lenticular. This is the first issue of the Oz Effect. A lot of people talking about the super books these days. Really been encouraging you guys to jump in on all this superheroes or Superman stuff. That's the one if you've been holding out. It's Legacy Week, so that's Action. This is Detective, the book that birthed the Batman. Cool stuff there. And of course, Legacy Week means the third of the Trinity is Wonder Woman. This book has also been rock solid. Really wish they would have given her some original numbering. If you're one of the 3 people not following Wonder Woman, you're really missing out. One of the best books out there these days. And how about some Mr. Miracle number 2? Much like Metal number 1, Mr. Miracle number 1 was one of the biggest selling books in a long time. This guy Tom King is just on fire. Mr. Miracle is one of my all-time favorite characters. I really wish they would have gotten his Kirby trade paperback out in time for the series, but that'll be rolling out in the next couple of weeks. Really encourage you guys to grab the first issue of this, grab this second issue. Can't say enough about Mr. Miracle. That book is awesome. Harley Quinn's 25th anniversary. This is the 25th anniversary special. Comes in 3 different covers. It's going to be Harley Quinn Day here on September 23rd. Can get more info about that in our newsletter and on the website and all that good stuff. Everybody loves some Harley. Here she is on the cover of the new Suicide Squad. Everybody's already got Suicide Squad on their list, so that one doesn't need any help. How about some more super books? Here's Supergirl with Streaky the Super Cat there on the cover. Maybe you don't know about Streaky the Super Cat. Awesome. Superwoman and New Superman round out your super stuff. Let me make one more plug for you to grab that 987. Great stuff. The Flash, another one of the biggest books DC has. DC's big TV star. More and more people coming into the shops all the time checking out Flash. Great to see the TV popularity finally translating into some sales for comics. Hal Jordan is your Green Lantern book for the week. Love me some Hal Jordan. All those Green Lantern books have been really rock solid too. Batgirl and the Birds of Prey. And Teen Titans. Along with Titans. And one of my favorites, Red Hood and the Outlaws. Those are your teen books for the week. Love me some Red Hood. If this one's flying under your radar, you may want to check these out. They're doing a lot of cool things with Bizarro. Bizarro is probably one of the most, undeveloped characters, certainly undeveloped villains. They've done a really great job with him in this one. Fun stuff. And there's always other DC stuff to talk about. It's a 2-shot of Scooby-Doo this week. Here's your Scooby Apocalypse. That's your Hanna-Barbera reboot book for the week. And Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Is your DC All Ages book of the week. I'm mixing in a little All Ages this week with their appropriate publishers. Just to mention that Scooby's awesome, and they got the more mature Scooby-Doo and of course the more traditional Scooby-Doo, because everybody loves some Scooby snacks. Great week for the Marvel guys too. How about some Secret Empire Omega? This is your final issue of the latest big Marvel event. Number 10 came out last week to its stunning conclusion. I've really enjoyed this book. I know it's got some critics. Again, I know people have some event fatigue, but I thought Secret Empire was really cool. I'm a big Captain America fan, so it all worked out just like I wanted it to. Great stuff. Generations, Captain Marvel and Marvel. Maybe you're not 100 years old like me, but when I was a kid, Marvel was one of the coolest characters in comics. He's still a lot of people's favorite characters. One of the very, very few guys that remained dead. We'll see if that holds out. But these Generations books have been a lot of fun. So if you've been passing them up, you can pick up all of them. They're all self-contained one-shots. Or just grab whichever one has the hero you think is cool. Runaways #1 returns to comics. This was a really, really super cool concept a few years ago. Joss Whedon had his turn writing some Runaways. If you don't know what this is, you can grab the previous trade paperbacks or just jump into the current one, the relaunch with the new issue this week. Really fun stuff. Amazing Spider-Man is truly amazing these days. This is one of the best books Marvel has. I've been saying it's worth it for the covers. Check out that Alex Ross, Norman Osborn. So awesome, these Alex Ross covers. And the stories inside are just as good. Like I say, it's a really, really great time to be a Spider fan. Pick up number 25 and catch up to this latest issue. Great, great stuff. Venomverse and Ben Reilly the Scarlet Spider are your other Spider books of the week. This Ben Reilly book's really taken off. I have to admit, I was really surprised how many Ben Reilly fans are out there, how many Scarlet Spider fans are out there. This book's really taken off. It's selling really well. If you're any kind of Spider fan, you might want to pick up the first couple issues and see what all the buzz is about. Old Man Logan. X-Men Blue, one of my favorite X books these days. And Weapon X round out your X titles for the week. Much like the Ben Reilly thing, can't say enough about this Weapon X book. All that WMD stuff exploded, and this Weapon X is really hot. As I said, I'm a big fan of that X-Men Blue. There's X-Men Blue, X-Men Gold, Old Man Logan, Weapon X. Again, good time to be an X fan. Defenders. Another book that might be flying under your radar. If you're liking the Netflix show, if you're liking any of the Netflix shows, you might want to check this book out. I've been saying it won't necessarily change your life, but it is fun, and it's a cool use of those characters. Deadpool. Much like Harley in the Suicide Squad, this guy doesn't need any help with promotion these days. Doctor Strange and the Sorcerer Supreme is your mystical magical book of the week. Love me some Doctor Strange. Secret Warriors and the Uncanny Avengers are your team-up books for the week. Really been digging some Uncanny Avengers because I'm a big Scarlet Witch fan. How about the Women of Marvel, like All New Wolverine, or The Hulk, Miss Jennifer Walters, or Miss Marvel, or Gwenpool, or the one everybody's digging, The Unbeatable Squirrel Girl. Don't believe the internet. Unbelievable Squirrel Girl, Miss Marvel, Gwenpool, all these books I'm talking about, they're all really solid. They all sell really well. They all have a great fan base. Marvel wants to blame these titles and diversity on their poor sales, and quite frankly, it's just not true. Like I say, these books are really solid, and if there's any of these that interest you, you should check them out. I'm a big fan of the Hulk, big fan of that all-new Wolverine, good stuff. And a couple of Star Warses. Star Wars, the main title, with your favorite droid R2-D2 right there on the cover. And Star Wars Dr. Aphra number 12, co-starring the infamous Dark Lord of the Sith. You've been waiting for these two to meet back up since the conclusion of the last Vader series. Some of you may know this series takes place further on down the timeline, so Vader's had a little time to stew on this Dr. Aphra person. Good stuff there. Really been encouraging you guys to check out all that Star Wars stuff. Great week for all the other guys too. How about some Hellboy and the BPRD, 1955. A little backstory on the BPRD. You know, I'm always talking up Hellboy, and any chance I get to talk up anything Mike Mignola, along with American Gods, because here at Black Hat Comics we also like to talk up anything that says Neil Gaiman on it. If you read the book, if you watched the show, you should really be checking out the comic. Great stories, great art. What more can you say about a comic? And Gru, from my all-time favorite Sergio Aragones, the genius of Mad Magazine, the genius of Gru, the genius of Quick Draw at Comic-Con, the genius of a lot of things. I told you I'd be mixing in some all ages with their appropriate publisher. Love me some Dark Horse, love me some Gru, love me some Sergio. If you're an old school Mad Magazine fan like me, if you just like to laugh at awesomeness pick up some Gru, one of the best comics out there. Kill or Be Killed is your Image book of the week, because you love some Ed Brubaker like I do. But Divided States of Hysteria is my Image book of the week, because I love me some Howard Chaykin. There are very few people in comics as disturbed and brilliant as Howard Chaykin. I pretty much read anything he does, no matter how much sleep it costs me. Mage from my man Matt Wagner. It's another one of our highly recommendable books this week, because we love some Mage, we love some Matt Wagner. I'm a big fan of balding superheroes. There's not enough balding superheroes in the world. Realm and Retcon are your two first issue gotta have it Image books of the week, because you guys are always after those first issues, as you should be. Always encouraging you guys to grab the first issues of Image books, because once they're gone, they're like $100, and then you have to buy a reprint, and that makes you sad. Great week for my friends at Dynamite. How about some Sovereigns with some of the classic Gold Key guys like Turok and Magnus? Love the old classic Gold Key guys that they turned into Valiant guys, and now they've turned them back into Gold Key guys. Love some Sovereigns. I like a lot of Dynamite books, like The Spirit with this cool Francavilla cover. Any chance I get to talk up The Spirit, I use it, because Will Eisner is one of the greatest comic creators of all time. And if you don't know enough about The Spirit, you don't know enough about Will Eisner, you owe it to yourself. It's a treat to get to know all of his work. The Shadow, another great Dynamite property. One of the many reasons I like Dynamite, they do a great job with their licensed stuff. It's modern, but fits in with the classic feel of the characters. Great stuff. Clue is my IDW book of the week, because it's just as fun as the game and just as cool as the movie. Each different cover has a different ending, so this time the variant covers actually mean something. Grab the A covers, but check out some of those other covers to check out some alternate endings, much again like the movie. Speaking of movies, War of the Planet of the Apes. It's my Boom Studios book of the week. We're talking a lot about Boom Studios and Planet of the Apes on the podcast this week. So if you're a Planet of the Apes fan like me, you'll want to check out the podcast we just posted last Monday. It'll be in this week's newsletter. I'm a huge Planet of the Apes fan like my friend Chris is, and Boom Studios has done a phenomenal job with all of their Planet of the Apes stuff. As you'll hear me say 50 times in the podcast, pick up everything that they've done that says Planet of the Apes on it, because it's just super, super awesome. Riverdale is my Archie book of the week. As a 47-year-old man, I'm a little embarrassed to say how much I like this show, but it's really super cool. And I've been telling you guys that Archie is just on fire these days, with their main line, with the All Ages line, with their Riverdale stuff. Archie, Afterlife with Archie, Sabrina, Reggie, Jughead, Betty and Veronica, all your favorites. All have cool new titles that you should be checking out. Love me some Archie comics. And Invader Zim is my Oni book of the week, because I love me some Invader Zim. More specifically, I love me some Gur. That's your Oni book, somewhat all ages. And in the all ages stuff remaining, how about some Guardians of the Galaxy? Marvel does a really good job with their all ages stuff, with Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy, Spider-Man, some other things. If you love the movies, or if you got a little one around the house that loves space stuff, check out some Guardians. My Little Pony and Uncle Scrooge rounds out my all ages stuff for the week. Always saying what a great job they do with this Disney stuff. Love seeing Mickey and Uncle Scrooge and all these guys back in comics. Fun stuff. Great, great week of stuff. So make sure you get down to your shop, pick up many, many of the pieces of awesomeness that you've seen here today. That's all I got for you for this week. You can check us out at blackcatcomics.biz, check us out at Facebook, check out our cool YouTube channel, check out our podcast at soundcloud.com, or just get on down here to Rock and Milpitas. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.